Good baby YouTube, I'm the watch idiot. So yeah, I didn't think that I was gonna make this video this soon, and yeah, it was definitely a tough video to make. But just to clarify, I said in a previous video that this is a keeper watch, and it is kind of, but I wasn't sure if it made it to my core keepers, and turned out that it didn't make it. But like I said before, I really do love this watch, and I guess this class of keepers means that I wouldn't sell this watch just for any reason. It would be if only I wanted to buy a different watch with the funds that I get from it. And so yeah, that's kind of what's going to happen with this, but there are some other little reasons about it. But yeah, either way, it was a tough decision to make. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the reasons why I'm selling it and also the watch that I'm planning on buying using the funds that I get from the Black Bay Pro. And yeah, spoiler alert, you know, it is not because it is too thick. I don't know if that's still an issue because I think enough people have said that it's comfortable, but yeah, either way, it's like one of the most comfortable watches that I've owned. And since this video is about selling the Black Bay Pro, if you want to buy this Black Bay Pro, it's the same process as with, you know, all the other watches that I've sold here through the channel. So yeah, email me with your shipping zip code because it's gonna be the first question that I ask you, and my email is thewatchidiot, one word, @gmail.com, and the email is in the description and also in the about tab of the channel as well. And yeah, the price is $3,600, box and papers, all that good stuff, and I'll cover the first $100 of shipping, which pretty much means for most people that shipping is free. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first reason is that it's not quite perfect for me. So yeah, basically it's more of a it's me, not you type of situation. And the main thing that was a big enough sticking point for me was the fact that this doesn't have a rotatable bezel. And for years, the numbers have shown me that I wear watches with rotatable bezels or some sort of timing capability like 90 to 95% of the time because I like to time things. But it's a bit irritating because I absolutely love the look and feel of time-only watches, and I absolutely love the look of the Black Bay Pro and also the Explorer II. I mean, I owned the Explorer II before. And yeah, in the end, the Black Bay Pro was my most worn watch of 2022, and I enjoyed every second of it on my wrist. But when it came to wearing my other divers and my Pelagos, it was no competition, because since my 6-month review that I did, I think like end of November or something like that, I really haven't worn the Black Bay Pro at all. And not wearing a watch for a long time doesn't always lead me to selling, you know, said watch, you know, especially if it just continuously just pulls me in like the Zen 556, because that was such a striking watch. And yeah, just seeing it, just like that jet black dial, it just pulled me in, like just whenever it was on standby, and just made me wonder, like, why am I not wearing this? But for that one, once again, didn't have a rotatable bezel, and it, you know, I just kept wearing my other watches more. So once again, it's not its fault. And things really crystallized for me recently in my during my LA trip for many reasons, but one of the big things was how simple it was for me to travel with my SSK GMT, which has a supposedly inferior collar GMT, which I actually prefer. It was so easy just to keep track of a different time zone just by changing the bezel. And with that, I am good to go, as opposed to any watch without a rotatable bezel where I would have to unscrew the crown, change things up. Like I said in the video, there would just be a lot of adjustment, since I prefer changing the GMT hand like on collar GMT, since I don't travel very much. And I know that this isn't very much of a big hassle in the grand scheme of things, but it's still a hassle to do. So overall, my threshold for keeping a watch that I just like a lot drops as the price of the watch goes up. So if this Black Bay Pro was somehow, you know, just $1,000, then I would keep it for sure, because all these little things would make it worth it. But when there's this much money just sitting there, it doesn't sit right with me. So yeah, overall, if only Tudor had been willing to change up the Explorer II formula a little bit by just putting in a rotatable steel bezel, then this thing would have absolutely hit the spot. And yeah, I mean, it just would have been far more flexible for me. And considering how comfy the watch is and how much I absolutely love the look of an all steel watch, I mean, this would have already, you know, claimed its spot amongst my absolute core keepers. Oh, and if I'm nitpicking again a little bit more, I would have liked it a little bit more if the lume was truly like a crispy white lume, and if the bracelet was a standard oyster bracelet, you know, the one that you find on the Ranger. But yeah, overall, those really weren't big deals at all and didn't really play into my decision overall. Yeah, I absolutely just love my other GMTs. I mean, they excite me more when I wear them and just see them on my wrist. And the main one being the SSK GMT, which is one of my absolute favorite watches. And I recently did an entire video on it and what it's like to use as a travel watch, given that it's a collar GMT. So yeah, I mean, I just love the way the dial looks, the red GMT hand looks. I mean, the bezel on is just ridiculous because of the way that it reflects in different lights, and then it just pulls me in every single time. And like I mentioned in the last section, it's got a rotatable bezel so I can track an extra time zone without changing anything, and I can time things as well whenever I want to. But as useful as collar GMTs are, you know, it's still fun to have a flyer GMT because the jumping hour hand is undoubtedly fun to see and engage, and that's where the Traska Venture GMT comes in. So I actually ordered this in LA and I had it delivered there, and I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that it's a flyer GMT just cause. And also big plus point is that it's got an inner rotatable bezel so I can time things and set another time zone whenever I want to. And all this for $700. So yeah, value is very high with that one. And earlier I mentioned that I love time-only watches like the Zin 556, but I can't wear them because they don't have timing bezels. But with this one, I just get the best of both worlds because I got the inner rotatable bezel and it gives me the look of a time-only watch, which is something that the Black Bay Pro doesn't quite do, and it wouldn't have done anyway just because it's got a bezel with numbers on it. That's just me. Oh, then I have my Zodiac Sherbet GMT, which is just so much fun. It's so much fun. And yeah, it's just super different and it is unbelievably comfortable. And yeah, that's just its own thing. So here's my main reason. And I said in my 6-month review video that this is a keeper, but it just hasn't reached that absolute core keeper status, you know, like my my Pelagos and amongst other things, blanking right now. Anyway, I said that I wouldn't go out of my way to sell it unless there was a super compelling watch that I would want to buy using the funds that I would get from selling the Black Bay Pro. So yeah, last week I absolutely just gushed about the Omega Seamaster 300M that I got to wear for a while visiting LA, and this was the first time that I got to wear it after selling my own Seamaster 300M back in 2019. And yeah, in short, you know, selling that watch was my absolute biggest watch selling regret, and it is the only watch that I've ever considered rebuying. So yeah, if you want more details, I have it linked somewhere here. So yeah, I'm not entirely set on which exact watch I want to get, just because, you know, maybe I'll go for the new green dial or the blue dial, or maybe I'll go for the older 2254 or the quartz 2256. So yeah, lots of decisions to be made, but selling the Black Bay Pro, you know, I'm getting myself ready for whatever may come. And also, I'm not gonna rush into buying the Seamaster just yet, just because I am also really interested in the new Zin T50 that came out, because it's pretty much the perfect Zin. And yeah, I used to own 3 of them at one point. It was the 104, the 556, and the U1, but this being a titanium U1 basically, that's 41 millimeters, and it has that press-in rotatable bezel that was in the T1 and T2. It's just like, well, it's just like mind-blowingly good for me. So yeah, I'll have to see what the situation is with that. And yeah, finally, yeah, who knows what Tudor or Omega is gonna put out this year. So yeah, gotta keep an eye out for that too. So yeah, there you have it. That's why I'm gonna be selling the Black Bay Pro once again. If you do want to purchase this watch, you know, all the information was at the beginning and then also in the description. Email me at thewatchidiot@gmail.com with your shipping zip code, because it's the first question I'm gonna ask. Anyway, so yeah, go ahead, do all that good stuff, and yeah, until the next video, good day.